Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map and you are up for a treat. So this is Tarot Marea created by Masha Kulenovic, and this is a prototype, so bear in mind that Masha has created this deck. These are just like prototypes version that a couple of people have gotten for a review, and Masha is planning to do a Kickstarter campaign because obviously it's really expensive to self-publish a deck, right? So the box, and I've spoken to Masha already, the box that the deck arrived in, it's quite flimsy. I mean, you know, it's a paper box, but yeah, it's nothing special. It does the job in a sense that it keeps the cards in, but I think it can be better when it comes to keeping this particular deck in, because it's a bloody amazing deck. So the deck will come with a booklet, and then booklet is another area of something that I think Masha already said that she will change for sure, because when I opened the booklet, you know, the cards are already falling out. It's glued, it has like, you know, nice paper and so on, but it just doesn't hold, so it has to be bound or I don't know, just changed, because the glue just doesn't hold. But this deck, Marea Tarot, is based on Thoth, so I know that a lot of you love Thoth deck, and most of the decks on our market are Rider-Waite-Smith based, so you are up for a treat if you are a Thoth lover and you were looking for some modern different take on Thoth deck. Masha writes here that this deck came to life in 2020. She has made a card, like a tower card, on to celebrate or to dedicate it to April 25th, which in Italy is Liberation Day from fascism. And she loves Thoth deck, so she had a desire to create the whole, you know, deck based on Thoth system. And she said she just changed the technique, which becomes a kind of digital collage of photos, drawing and textures, but the deck is completely inspired by Thoth Tarot, but Aleister Crowley, which you will see in a sec, and it is an ode to their work, Aleister Crowley and Frida Harris. It is an ode to their work, which influenced this project as the moon influences the tides. And Marea Tarot in Italian, mare means tide, so this is like a deck, a tidal deck, right? And she writes here also that she's not an English speaker, English is not her mother tongue, so just be gentle. The deck arrives with this little like fold out, which I think is really cool. So there is a zodiac wheel for the cards, and also Tree of Life with the pathways and the cards placed on them. So this is pretty cool idea. And then when we if you just want to take a look at the book, it has just, maybe I take this one page that fell out already. So you get in the major arcana number, you get astrology, and on the cards also, which I find it's really cool. Some people, you know, don't like the borders, but I actually like when the border is kind of holding the artwork together, and she has a space to write very clear correspondences. So if you use Thoth Tarot, you know that sometimes on Thoth deck, the original one, you have to go like, what sign is this Saturn in or whatever, because it's like you can't see clearly. I think this is pretty cool. You get the, and then the, you know, the letter Aleph here, you get the planet, you get the element, number, and so on. So I think this is pretty neat. And so you get astrology, little description, you get the tiny little like description of Aleph, or the letters as well. Tree of Life, so what path on the Tree of Life is the full card located. So I think this is like really wonderful that she came up with this, because it's like a synthesis of, if you study Thoth system, you know, there is so much in it. And I love that she actually like gathered some information together. And then there's symbolism. So she writes about, you know, the green young man, which represents creative energy of spring. It's like rebirth of your spiritual journey, zero above his head, and so on and so forth. So you get the description of the particular symbols on the cards, why they're here, and so on. So all the majors have this particular layout, okay. And then when we go past the majors, you have chord cards and also like synthesis of how you can see and read chord cards, what elements they come with, what 4 words of Kabbalah they connected to, and so on, where on the decanic journey they fall, what cards they connected with. And what she also did with the chord cards, which I find like really fascinating, is that you get for each of the chord cards, you know, elements. So it, like Knight of Wands would be fire, and Tetragrammaton, astrology. So what number of the decanic journey is this particular chord card connected to? What minor arcana is this chord card connected to? Which I find it's awesome to have it in one spot when you don't have to go through, you know, all the other books to look for it. I think this is pretty cool. And then also symbolism. So what are the the flaming torch and the flames, the black horse, and so on. So everything that she used based on Thoth, original Thoth deck. So this is very much based on the traditional Thoth system. Just if Masha, if you watch this Princess of Swords in the book, I think you skipped the minor arcana. They're not here. So there is symbolism and like in all the other ones, but there is no minor arcana with the cards on the Princess of Swords. So I just, at least that's the one that I noticed that it misses something. And then you know, this book is just totally falling apart. And then we go to minors. Okay, minors are amazing in this deck. You get the pathways, you get the worlds they connected to. So you get astrology in each of the minors. You get Tree of Life. So what Sephira and in what world of emanation this minor belongs to, and the symbolism of the minor. And each of the minor, you see the pathways, you see the Sephira, and here you get also bibliography that Masha used. This is beautiful creator of the deck, Masha Kulenovic. She was born in Sarajevo in old times Yugoslavia, now Bosnia. And yeah, and here's index. So I think the booklet is great. I didn't notice actually, you know, like even though she said she's not a native speaker, I mean, I'm not a native speaker too, so I'm probably not the one to judge on this one. But sometimes, you know, when people who are not native speakers write in English, you just get this like, oh, please, it's like Google Translate type of writing. Her writing is not like this. It's, yeah, it just makes sense. And I think this is a great effort. So now let's move to the cards. Okay, how I want to do it, I want to first show you the major arcana and how it is, how she organized it in the book. Okay, so let's just take a look. By the way, this is printed on linen paper, and I hope she will leave the cards as they are. They're not thick, but they a little bit bigger than the regular tarot deck. Okay, if this is the regular tarot, like Rider-Waite-Smith regular deck, so they a little bit bigger, wider. They remind me of this, like, you know, greeny, maybe a little bit smaller than greeny, but they are printed on this beautiful linen paper, and they shuffle really well, and you know, they get bent. So for me that would be perfect. I don't need them any thicker, but I don't know, everybody seems to be concerned about the paper, maybe, I don't know, a lot. But also I spoke with Masha, and she said that the cards will be lightened up. I only noticed in some of the cards that they may be they're a little bit too dark, but even here, maybe, you know, at the bottom of the full, the dark colors could be tiny little bit like brought up to life, lit up. So we have our full, these are the backs, like the you know, like the box. There is the magus or magician, and you get the Mercury and the letter. There's the priestess with the moon, empress, and you can see that like she kind of used the elements, of course, from the Thoth card, but that is a modern take, right? It is a modern take on the cards. It doesn't really like copy. It's not a clone or of Thoth. Maybe it looks more like a clone in the minors, you will see, but I have to say that I'm not sure if I don't love minors even more than the majors. So you get all the symbols from the Thoth. There's the Hierophant, and again, bear in mind that this is a prototype. So Masha already said she has gotten her deck finally, because I was the first one to get this deck for review. She even hasn't had her own deck yet. She has created 3 lovers cards, so you can pick which one you kind of correlate with. I actually quite like this one because I love the hands of the Hierophant, just like blessing them. I love this one because it's like kind of together. I like the snake and the Orphic egg here, and the, you know, the lion and the eagle. It's very cool. This one is also very sweet. And I like that for a change. This is the feminine holding the masculine. And this one is okay too, maybe a bit different take. I'm not sure if I'm particularly fond that they like back to back. I can get it from the symbolism as well that it would fit, but yeah, it might be more of this choice. I'm not sure. But yeah, they all pretty cool. And then you have the Chariot. I bring it a little bit closer, and then we have the Adjustment, the Hermit. See that the triple-headed dog, it's also like, yeah, it could be tiny little bit lighter so we can see it a little bit better. The Fortune with Jupiter, pretty cool. The Lust is amazing, quite love it. It's very like so much power that's coming off this card. So there's the Hangman, Death. It's really cool. The Art. I don't know, there's just something in this collage, this particular one, I don't know, there's just something off for me. I mean, I like the idea of it, but I don't know, Masha, if you watch it, I don't know if you can redo this one, or if you're fine with it, then, you know, I'm fine with it. But there is something in it that, like, something is off. Maybe it's good that it's off, because this is a card of mixing of things, you know, the extremes, but, and there's the Devil. Yeah, and it is quite dark. I mean, now in the camera even it looks a little bit lighter, but you do have to really like look for it. So maybe with Devil it's, you know, maybe again it's good, but I know that Masha mentioned that a lot of cards, that she thought a lot of cards are a little bit too dark. The Tower is pretty powerful as well. I love that lightning bolt going through, and this eye. The Star. Yeah. I don't know why, I just wish she was a bit bigger. The figure itself. Just maybe based on Thoth. I love how she pours out the white and red. And the moon is quite mysterious. I actually quite love it. It's very different. I mean, it's obviously you can recognize the Thoth, but yeah, it's kind of, it feels great. It's kind of like feels quite dangerous, okay, and like ooh. The Sun and the Eon, so the Judgment, and then the Universe. So these are the majors, and then you get an extra card, which is like that, folding, like this, like, you know, the fold up. So with all the worlds, emanation, and sephira, and the paths. So you have cards put onto here as well, and minors, and then we have the code cards, and I'm going to actually bring it out because I want to put all the nights together. Can you see it? So these are all the elemental nights, and I particularly love that Knight of Cups. And I'm not a cup person, okay? Cups were never my favorite suit, but in this deck, cups are amazing. There's, you know, this one will be amazing too. I think it could be tiny little bit lighter as well, especially here with the dark colors. But it's power. I love how she did it, that you actually really can sense the element, okay? So on the nights you get the star signs, I mean the zodiac signs corresponding to the element, of course. And wow, and then there's the Knight of Discs. Okay, so these are the knights. Let's get them off the table. So now we up for the queens, and the queens are quite amazing in their own right, of course. And again, oh gosh, that Queen of Water, I'm like so amazed by her. Like, if you just take a look, she's incredible. So as I said, like in the book, what you get here is the elemental, so that this is water of water. And with astrology, this is not what signs, but this is the decans, right? She's in the last decan of Gemini and 2 first decans of Cancer. And in tetragrammaton, this is the letter He, and it symbolizes stability and our passive and receptive side. So you get all this information. You get information also what minor arcana is the Queen of Cups connected to. So it's 10 of Swords, which is the Sun in Gemini. It's 2 of Cups, which is the Venus in Cancer. And it's 3 of Cups, which is the Mercury in Cancer. So you have all this information in the booklet, which is pretty funky. And I think it's really neat that she has thought of this. Queen of Wands, you know, very fiery, very like sparkly, love the rays around her. Queen of Swords with this, I love this crystal clear thinking with all these crystals coming off her, you know. As you can see, Masha's introduced all different skin colors, different humans on her cards, which is awesome. Because in Thoth deck, like obviously you didn't have that, and I'm glad we're doing it now. This is really cool. So then we have princes. So this is Prince of Fire, Prince of Cups, Prince of Swords, and Prince of Discs. And I think these ones are printed too dark. So you can see here on the lion specifically, like it's very kind of dark. I love how he's got this cool makeup on. Here we have the Prince of Cups, just really gorgeous too. Oh, I love the bird. And you get this Prince of Swords here. So very elemental. Like, I love how she picked the elements. And this one is very dark too. Prince of Discs. I love his face. Very beautiful. Suits. She picked, like, really, she did a great job on fitting this elemental energies of the court cards. And then here we have the princesses. So there's Princess of Fire. And she makes them, she made them quite young looking. So that's really cool. So we have the Princess of Wands, and you can see that she's like, she, he, we don't know, you cannot really tell the gender here. A Princess of Cups, really beautiful. Princess of Swords and Princess of Discs, which I think it's also a little bit too dark compared even to the other princesses. So these were our court cards, and now we have aces. So all the aces, that's how all the aces look together. So very elemental. I have to say that I am a big fan of aces in original Thoth deck, and in this case I feel like the original Ace of Cups, for example, is just, you can't beat this. You know, I really enjoy what Masha did here, and this Ace of Discs is quite similar too, right? But the Ace of Cups in original Thoth is just a killer. So, but aces, you know, these are aces, they're okay. Now we go with twos, and I actually really love what she did. So this is twos. Maybe the Two of Pentacles is my least favorite. Somehow it looks very like computer generated compared to the others, and definitely needs to be brightened up a little bit. And then we have threes. I love it. It just looks so good. Even that Three of Swords looks amazing. And Three of Discs. And then we have fours. Four of Wands. So these are very similar to original Thoth, but you know, just modernized. Love the cups. The cup suit, it looks so good in this deck, seriously. It's really great. But even Wands, is like all of them are great. Look at this Five of Wands. It just makes, like, it's even, I don't know if I don't prefer it to the original. It's really great. So there's fives, our, you know, crisis points, our teachers. Okay, love the Five of Swords. And then we have sixes, the balancers. So beautiful. Look at this Six of Discs. It's just, you know, it's like Thoth, but just with this little, I don't know, just like Van Klimt, Hilda, Seven of Wands. And this one, that's the one I noticed. I'm like, oh my God, you can barely, you know, even on the camera, it looks lighter. You can barely actually distinguish the coins, you know, the fruit here. So this one definitely has to be brightened. But as Masha said, like, she thinks a lot of them will need this. Eight of Wands, Mercury in Sagittarius. That's my card for my Mercury. It's pretty cool, like modern. Love this Eight of Cups, so moody. I love this background there. It's really great. Eight of Swords also could be lighter. And Eight of Discs, it's a little bit different to Thoth. It's just this blossoming tree, which is interesting, but different to the rest of them. Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords could be also a bit brighter, and Nine of Discs, really beautiful. And then 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, and 10 of Discs. So that's the whole deck. What I'm going to do now, I haven't done it yet, I haven't shuffled it yet, so, you know, let me just shuffle it and see how we go with it. Okay, so maybe we can put it a little bit up, split it in half, and remember the cards are a little bit bigger, so I can easily hold them, it's not a problem. But that's why I wouldn't want them to be thicker, because when they're bigger, it's easier to handle them and shuffle them. So you can shuffle them nicely. Let's do one more, and let's see how they look together. Okay, I love shuffling linen paper. Okay, Six of Wands, so we have a victory connected to this deck. I think it's going to do really well. I have sent the imagery of this deck to the publishing houses that's like I'm in collaboration with sometimes, and I hope somebody will pick it up because it would be awesome to have this one. Oh look, this is going to go big way, right? And it's going to share its wisdom with... There's still some work that needs to be done on this deck with this hidden Seven of Discs here and Saturn in Taurus. There might be some challenges, changes that need to be like adjustment that needs to be done, but this Chariot, it's wow, this is great. Masha, your deck is going to be really helpful. Look how beautiful that also looks. I'm excited about this deck. We get so little like diversity when it comes to the systems of tarot. We either get totally traditional Marseille or we get Rider-Waite-Smith based decks. Oh, look at these cups. Oh, this is just so beautiful. So yeah, anyway, this is Marea Tarot, and I hope you will enjoy it. She will do a Kickstarter for it. So remember, this is a prototype deck. The cards can be a little bit lighter. The box will look probably different. The book will be better and so on. But let me know what you think about it. And also, I want to invite you on Thursday for a live that I'm doing on my channel. I'm going to catch up with Queen Osset, and we're going to talk tarot, reading, divination, all things divination, our favorite decks at the moment and so on. We just wanted to make it light and fun. It's the end of the Leo season. Queen Osset is a Leo, I have a Leo ascendant, so you know, we dig the Leo vibes. So please join us on Thursday here on my channel live at 8 p.m. Central European time, and it's going to be, I think, around 2 p.m. Pacific time. Is Queen Osset on Pacific time? I will write it down for you guys. Okay, so thank you for watching. Marea Tarot, amazing. Thanks Masha for the prototype, and I see you soon. Bye.